comprehend and understand the whole picture. And that's a fancy way of saying just studying for the test. Not to preserve and store and hold knowledge and information. Just trying to pass the test and get a grade. So when you turn your attention, and for all of us, when we turn our attention and we know that the message that was sent 1400 years ago to a people who just was a people who love to just celebrate anything and everything, to be in acts of ritual for financial gain and financial benefit, their full reward was not there. Their lives became stagnant, and the great successes of other empires around them was more bright and more successful. But as soon as the light was turned on in desert Arabia, the tables were turned. The possibilities were different. The greatness was realized. That a people that the world thought, what can come out of there? We don't even want to go down there and trade with them. Make them come to us. Became the center of attention. Not who they once were, but who they became. The transformation of being mu'min, believers in Allah. That was not based upon their lineage, but it was based upon their iman, their faith. It was not based upon their story, the fables and the stories that they told to excite themselves about their history, to over-exaggerate their importance. And some of that still goes on today. And you can convert that same concept to us today. It was because of their sincerity in submitting to Allah that He raised those whom He raised up, and He put down those whom He put down. But all of this comes into context when we are true servants of Allah, not afraid to stand alone, not afraid to be a few, not afraid to just be a small group excelling and becoming excellent. But Allah has blessed us with numbers. Allah has blessed us with a great deal of support in this country to be Muslim, to live the way we want to live. It's a great blessing. I lived in Damascus, Syria. I lived and I traveled to other places in the Muslim world. Saudi Arabia, Egypt. I've lived in places and I've seen the way in which people treat their Islam. And they are no place to be followed. We must realize the gift and the blessing of Al-Islam that He has put right within you. Right within your consciousness on Him. The reality of His existence and interceding in our lives. Who else would want us to be Muslim today but Allah? Who else would give us the support to be who we are today? There's no one benefiting from us being Muslim. We are the beneficiaries of Al-Islam. And so we must appreciate the way and the journey in which Allah has taken us, and the way that He has opened the door, and every last gate is open to us for Jannah. And the ones unmentioned. As we strive to please Allah, to worship Him, to live our life, to commit to goodness, to commit to building strong establishments that will live beyond our name, that will be transmitted as a message so that other generations of Muslims born and raised in America will say, they stood for us. They made great sacrifice for us. We have no reason to give up now, for their challenge was much greater and much more serious. We have no reason to give up now, generation now, for there's been great sacrifice done for us. There's been a great reward bestowed upon us, and it comes in Al-Islam. We have our closeout for the year, an opportunity for fundraising and an opportunity for celebration. And through the schools, Muhammad School's leadership, we want to thank the service of our teachers for sacrificing and struggling day in and day out to provide an education for the Muhammad School's children, and to make that legacy continuous, to do for self, to do the act of for us, by us, FUBU. But they need our support every year. Not just 1 year. They need our support every year to give and give like we mean it to support the school in opening again. So the fundraising is on Sunday. And I have to say that this has been Sister Quran's first year as head of school, and she has done a phenomenal job. We're grateful for her. Because we know, some of us need to come to know better, that this is no easy task in educating and teaching this generation without the proper resources. So we have to come to the aid of the school, we have to come to the aid of our community work, and know that knowledge and seeking knowledge is an honorable and noble task that the Prophet, may God's peace and blessings be upon him, said will ease the way into paradise for us. And that is our goal. That is what we want. So let us make sure we mark our calendars for this week and remember that this masjid exists because we want it to exist. This school, Muhammad Schools of Atlanta, it exists and it's on the map because this is what we want. And so because it's what we want it to be most excellent. So let us continue to give. Let us remember all of the 8 doors into paradise and choose one for today. Choose one every day. Choose one for the sake of yourself and for your children and your children's children. And remind them that there is only one path, many lanes into paradise. And that is the path of full submission to Allah, the path of Al-Islam. Subhana rabbika rabbi izzati amma yasifun, wassalamun ala al-mursaleen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. O Allah, we ask you for the good of this life, the good of the hereafter, and save us from the torment of the fire. O Allah, we state and we say that you are the one that we worship. We cannot manage this life by ourselves, not without you. So please make our lives what you want it to be, what you prefer it to be. Do not allow for us to act alone, and help us act only in obedience to you. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Aqim as-salam.
Takbir. 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 Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله